In the rush of modern life, anger often feels like a default response. Whether it's the frustration from traffic jams, stress at work, or conflicts with loved ones, countless situations can ignite irritation and, at times, even rage. However, what if you could learn to release this anger, replacing it with a sense of calm and resilience, regardless of life's pressures? Buddhist teachings offer a transformative perspective, viewing anger not as a permanent part of who we are, but as a temporary reaction we can learn to manage and eventually transcend. This ancient wisdom reminds us that by understanding our anger, we can transform it, guiding ourselves toward a deeper peace that is unshaken by external turmoil. The Buddhist approach to letting go of anger is not about suppressing feelings, but about observing and understanding them. By cultivating inner peace, grounded in compassion and wisdom, you can break free from the habitual patterns that anger creates, fostering a life of greater clarity and equanimity. As we delve into this path, we uncover ways to release anger through mindfulness, compassion, and acceptance. In doing so, we create space for a more tranquil existence, one where our reactions are informed by awareness, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with calm and grace. Master Jin listened patiently, nodding with understanding as Taro shared his struggles. When Taro finished, the monk remained silent for a moment, then gently spoke. Taro, imagine your mind is like a clear, still pond. Every time you react in anger, it's like throwing a stone into the water, creating ripples that disturb the peace. The pond returns to calm only when the stones stop. So too can your mind find tranquility when you stop feeding it with anger. Taro was intrigued but skeptical. How could he prevent these reactions that felt so deeply ingrained? Sensing his hesitation, Master Jin continued, Anger is not something that controls you. It's something you allow to surface. It rises from a place of attachment to how you think things should be. By letting go of these attachments, you create space for patience and understanding. Master Jin invited Taro to stay at the monastery and learn meditation techniques to observe his thoughts and emotions without reacting. He assured Taro that with practice he would begin to see anger as merely a passing cloud, not an unstoppable storm. Inspired by the possibility of peace, Taro decided to stay and commit himself to the teachings, hopeful that he could finally overcome the anger that had controlled him for so long. The monk's words lingered in Taro's mind, resonating with a clarity he had never felt before. He had always seen anger as something outside of his control, an emotion that took over without warning. Yet Master Jin's metaphor made him see that he had been gripping this anger tightly, only causing himself harm. It was a powerful shift, recognizing that anger was not a force he was helpless against, but rather a burden he was choosing to carry. With this new awareness, Taro felt a glimmer of hope, as if he'd been given a key to unlock a door within himself that he hadn't known existed. Encouraged by this insight, Taro dedicated himself to the monk's teachings. He began to practice mindfulness, observing his thoughts and feelings without judgment. Each time anger arose, he remembered the image of the hot coal, reminding himself to let it go before it burned him. Slowly, he noticed a change within himself. The situations that used to ignite his temper now felt less triggering. He began to feel a sense of freedom, a lightness that had been missing from his life. Through his practice, Taro discovered that peace was not about avoiding difficult situations or people. It was about cultivating an inner strength that allowed him to remain steady and calm, no matter what life presented. Over time, Taro found a sense of freedom in this practice. He realized that by watching his anger without judgment, he was creating a space between himself and his emotions, allowing him to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. The red flame, once intense and consuming, began to lose its power over him. Each time he observed his anger without engaging with it, he felt a deeper connection to a calm center within him, a place untouched by the storms of emotion. Taro discovered that he didn't have to let anger define his actions or control his peace. He could simply acknowledge it and let it pass, like a cloud drifting across a clear sky. As he continued this journey, Taro began to notice a profound shift, not only in himself, but also in his relationships. The people around him sensed his newfound calm, and conflicts that once seemed inevitable now dissolved with ease. Master Jin encouraged him to extend this mindful awareness to other areas of his life, reminding him that the path to true peace lies in understanding and transforming one's inner world. With each step, Taro embraced this wisdom, finding a lasting tranquility that no external circumstance could shake. Through mindful awareness, he had unlocked the power to live with compassion and clarity, free from the chains of anger and reactive emotions. As Taro embraced the concept of impermanence, he felt a profound shift within himself. He understood that by not resisting his emotions or clinging to them, he was allowing them to follow their natural course, like clouds that appear and disappear without disturbing the sky. Each time anger arose, he reminded himself that it was temporary, a visitor in his mind, rather than a permanent resident. This perspective gave him a sense of control he had never felt before. Instead of fearing his emotions or feeling overwhelmed by them, he could calmly acknowledge them, knowing they would soon pass on their own. With each passing day, Taro's newfound understanding of impermanence brought him greater peace and freedom. He realized that clinging to emotions, whether anger, sadness, or even joy, was like trying to hold water in his hands, an impossible task that only caused more frustration. By letting go of the need to control his emotions, he discovered a deeper strength, one rooted in acceptance and trust in life's natural flow. His interactions with others became more harmonious, and he found himself able to respond with patience and kindness rather than reacting out of frustration. Through this journey, Taro learned that true peace was not about eliminating emotions, but understanding their transient nature, which allowed him to remain grounded and serene no matter what life brought his way. With this new understanding, Taro's heart began to soften. He realized that, just like him, others carried their own burdens, insecurities, and past wounds. Each person was navigating their own difficulties, often without the tools or guidance to handle them with grace. When he encountered someone who was rude or dismissive, he reminded himself of Master Jin's words, picturing them as someone stumbling in the dark. This image helped Taro feel compassion instead of anger, turning moments of potential conflict into opportunities for connection and understanding. He found that by extending empathy, he was no longer as easily affected by the negativity of others. Taro's life transformed as he practiced compassion daily. He became a source of calm in situations where he once would have reacted with irritation. His relationships improved as he found himself able to listen without taking things personally, understanding that people's harsh words often stemmed from their own pain. He felt lighter, no longer weighed down by resentment or frustration. Instead, his mind was clear, his heart open. Through compassion, Taro discovered a path not just to controlling his anger, but to enriching his life with kindness and patience. His journey taught him that compassion was not only healing for others, but for himself, creating a profound sense of inner peace and resilience. The more Taro practiced, the more his mind settled into a steady calm that felt almost unbreakable. He became aware of a stillness within himself, like a quiet lake, undisturbed by the ripples of external events. Situations that once ignited his anger now seemed like passing breezes. He observed them without reacting, realizing that they no longer had power over him. This newfound resilience gave him a deep sense of liberation, As he no longer felt controlled by his emotions, he began to view each day with gratitude, seeing even difficult moments as opportunities to strengthen his inner peace. As Taro's transformation continued, those around him took notice. Friends, family, and colleagues felt drawn to his presence, sensing the calm and understanding he radiated. His relationships blossomed as he approached each interaction with patience and compassion, free from the clouds of anger that once blurred his perspective. Most importantly, Taro found a profound inner tranquility that grounded him, unshaken by the unpredictability of life. In embracing Buddhist teachings, Taro unlocked a lasting peace within himself, an unmovable center that remained steady through life's storms, revealing to him a path of clarity, wisdom, and enduring contentment. In Buddhism, this inner peace that Taro achieved is known as equanimity, or upekkha, a state of mind that remains calm and balanced, unaffected by external forces or emotions. Equanimity doesn't mean the absence of anger or sadness. Rather, it's the ability to feel these emotions without letting them overwhelm or control us. Taro came to understand that his journey wasn't about becoming emotionless, but about learning to navigate his feelings with clarity and wisdom. With equanimity, he found that he could observe anger as it arose, recognize its impermanent nature, and choose a thoughtful response instead of a knee-jerk reaction. Through his journey, Taro discovered that the power to let go of anger was within him all along. By practicing compassion, observing his emotions, and embracing the truth of impermanence, he had unlocked a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. He realized that by freeing himself from the grip of anger, he had opened a path to lasting peace and fulfillment. This transformation allowed Taro to face life's challenges with an open heart, grounded in a sense of true inner tranquility. In choosing to live with equanimity, Taro had embraced a way of being that allowed him to respond to the world with wisdom, compassion, and a profound sense of peace that would carry him through whatever life might bring. By learning to release anger, you too can transform your life. Imagine facing each moment with a calm mind, unshaken by external turmoil, able to respond with clarity and compassion rather than impulsive reactions. This is the gift of Buddhist wisdom, a life where anger no longer holds power over you, where inner peace becomes your guiding force. In choosing this path, you find a sense of freedom that goes beyond momentary relief. It's a lasting serenity, a clarity of mind that allows you to navigate the world with grace, no longer weighed down by the heavy burden of anger. So, take a deep breath, visualize releasing the hot coal you've been holding on to, and step into a life rooted in true serenity. In choosing to let go, you're not only liberating yourself from anger, but also creating space for compassion, wisdom, and inner strength. This journey is yours to take, a transformative path toward living each day with a peaceful heart and an open mind.